Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faris Rahman Hakim, and now I'm going to share with you my understanding about the types of qualitative research method. But before that, I'm going to share my understanding with you about what does qualitative research method mean, and what is the differences between qualitative research method and quantitative research method. So for this introduction, first, what is qualitative and what is quantitative? What is differences between both method? So I give you the keyword. The keyword is qualitative research method. The keyword of qualitative research method is quality. So the keyword of quantitative research method is quantity. And from this keyword, quality and quantity, we can say that qualitative research method focus on the quality of data while in quantitative research method it focus on the quantity of data. In qualitative research method, we need the in-depth description of the data, but in quantitative research method we don't need it. We just need a much data, much better for us in quantitative research method. Okay guys, to make you easier in understanding about qualitative and quantitative, I'm going to give you the example of qualitative, like uh, the implementation of zoning system in Probolinggo Regency. Yeah. So in this research we need maybe the chief of education department of Probolinggo. We need three headmaster of three different school. So we need maybe only 2 to 5 teacher. So the next one we need maybe 10 students. So we need also 10 10 parents to be our data. So in this research we don't need much data, no, because we need a deep data. We need someone, or we need the data. We need someone, or we need a people who can give a deep data to our research. For example, the chief of education department. The chief of education department could give a deep data of zoning system. The headmaster of three different school is also could give a deep data of zoning system in Probolinggo. So like what I say, that qualitative is focused on the quality of data. It's not focused on quantity of the data. So I give you, that is the example of qualitative research method. So the next one, I give you the example about quantitative research method. So the example of quantitative research method is like the effectiveness of using song in speaking class, maybe. So because this research is use qualitative research method, so we need a much, what is that, a much data for this. Maybe we need 90 to 100 student who learn about, what is that, speaking. So we need maybe 10 to 20 or 30 teacher to to give a data or to say that how effective using song is. So guys, those are the examples of those different method. And remember that qualitative research method is focused on the quality of data, and quantitative research method is focused on the quantity of data. We can say that our research or our study about our study with qualitative research method is good by having a deep data. So we can say that our study with quantitative research method is good or not. It's according to much data we have. Okay guys, that's all the introduction about what we are going to discuss. Now we move to the our main point or our main discussion. It's about the types of qualitative research method. There are so many there are so many types of qualitative research method, and because could I couldn't memorize it well, I need a help from my smartphone to make it clear for you. Okay guys, actually there are eight types of qualitative research method. First is basic qualitative, second is case study research, the next is content analysis, the next is ethnographic research, so grounded theory research, historical research, narrative research, and the last one is phenomenological research. And for your information guys, in my explanation, I don't want to give you a long explanation, no, but I just want to give you the key characteristic of each type. Okay, first is basic qualitative. What are the key characteristic of basic qualitative? First is has its roots in the social science. So this study has a relation, or the study is related to the social science, any kind of social science. Okay, that is first. So the second is describes and interprets a phenomenon or process. So the study also describe a process or a event, a process done by the participant of the study. Okay, so the third is seek to understand participants' point of view. So the study is focused on the point of view of participant, not the point of view of investigator. Okay, the study is focused on participant point of view. And the next is this study may use a variety of data collection technique. So in collecting data for this study, we can use any kind of data collection, such as maybe we want to use observation. Okay, it's okay, we use the observation. So we also want to use for aiding information, we also want use the interviews. It's okay, we can use both data collection. So for the next, for more information, we need maybe a documentation. It's okay, it's good for us to have a variety of data collection in this study. Okay, that's all the key characteristic of what is that basic qualitative. Okay, now we move to the case study research, the second types of qualitative research method. So what are the key characteristic of case study research? First is it has multidisciplinary route. Okay, or the study is related to some science, like maybe uh, education, or maybe law, or maybe what is that, business. So the next is medicine, health, and etc. The important, the study has multidisciplinary route. Okay, the first. The second is the study focus on a single unit. Okay, we can we can choose in this case study research. We can choose, uh, is it business, is it about business, is it about law, is it about education, or etc. But remember, in case study research, we have to focus ourselves to one only study, or one single unit, one single focus. Like if we choose law, so we focus on law. If we choose education, we focus only on education, no other. Okay, so the next is produce in an in-depth description. So in producing the study, we have the in-depth description. Okay, we really need the deep description of study in this case study, because we focus on one topic, we focus on one lens. So we need the in-depth description of study. Okay, so the next is what is that, it is anchored in a real life, or we can find it in our real life. We can find what we are going to discuss in our real life. So the next is it use multiple data collection technique. Okay, it same like, what is that, it same like basic qualitative. Yeah, there are a variety of data collection, and in this study, in this case study research, we also have multiple data collection. Maybe in collecting data, we will use about observation and interview, or interview and documentation, or etc. The important thing in this case study, we need a multiple data collection. Okay, so the next is provide a rich holistic description of context and issue. This study is provide, yes, what is that, a deep description, a rich description, a holistic description of context. So focus on the context, and this study have a deep description of context and issue. So yes, that is the key characteristic of case study research. So the next one, we go to the next types of qualitative research. The next is content analysis. What are the key characteristics of content analysis? First is it has a root in communication studies, or the study relates to the communication studies. Okay, it's only relate to the communication studies. So the second one is use analysis of written or visual material. So the study uh, analyze the data with written or visual material. Okay, so in this data, we don't need to do what is that, an interview. No, yeah, we just need to observe the materials. Yeah, which is can be written or visual material. The next is describe the characteristic of material. Okay, so in this study, the study is describe also the characteristic of material. the next is it can be qualitative or quantitative. So the content analysis, it can be in qualitative research method or quantitative research method. Okay, we can use the content analysis in qualitative or quantitative. Okay, so next we go to the next type. It's about ethnographic research. Okay, ethnographic research is related to the anthropology. Okay, relate to the anthropology studies. Okay, so the next is studies the naturally occurring behavior of a group. So the study is directly go to the group, or directly observe the group and observe the behavior of the group. So the next is focus on culture and societal behavior. So okay, because this study is related to the anthropology studies, so this focus on the culture. Okay, culture and societal behavior, how the culture make the behavior, like that. So the next is describe beliefs, values, and attitude of group. Okay, I think that is it is clear. So the next is observation is the primary data collection tool. Okay, and this in this study, in this, what is that, ethnographic research, we in collecting data, we just need the observation. Okay, we just need the observation. The observation is the primary data. Yeah, it's the primary data. We don't need, what is that, the documentation. No, we just need to observe. We just need to come to the group and observe what is in the group. Okay, so the next is provides a holistic description of context and cultural themes. Okay, of course this study is provide the holistic description. Okay, it tell about the context of group, it tell about the culture of group. Okay, so the next is grounded theory research. Okay, what is grounded theory research? The key characteristics of grounded theory research is, first, has its roots in sociology. Okay, if ethnographic research have a root in anthropology, grounded theory research have a root in sociology. Okay, it related to the sociology studies. Okay, the next is its goal to inductively build a theory about practice or phenomenon. Okay, the goal is to, what is that, to build a theory, to make a theory, or to find a theory about practicing in sociology, about a practice of group in sociology. Okay, so the next is, what is that, interviews and observation are the primary data of collection tools. Okay, so in this study we need observation and interview. Okay, in this study we need observation and interview for collecting data. So the last characteristic is this study used a coding process that end in description and presentation of theory and propositions. So in conducting a data, this what is that, this research use a coding process. Yeah, and that coding process is end with, what is that, presentation of the theory, the theory which is found in the research. Okay, okay, now we go to the historical research. What is historical research? The key characteristic is the first, had its root in a study of history. I think of course you can guess it as that historical research is about history. Okay, so the next one is The next characteristic is focus on the past, of course, because this is history. This story is focused on the past events. Okay. So the next characteristic is written documents and artifacts are the primary data collection of this study. Okay, so in this study we need a written document first and artifact to make our theory or no, to make our study is good. Okay, it's good enough to cope by historical research. Okay, the next one is narrative research. What is narrative research? Okay, the characteristics are the first had its root in different humanities discipline. What is that? Okay, this study is different than other studies because the studies focus on the humanity, the disciplines study of humanity. So the study is focused on the stories about their lives told by individuals. So the story is focused on the stories. What kind of stories? The stories that told by individuals about humanity. Okay, so the next is what is emphasize the sequence and chronology. Okay, it's also focused on the sequence because this is story. There are sequence in the study. So and chronology. Okay, it's also we can find a chronology of the story in this study. So the next is emphasize the collaborative restoring process. So okay, in this study we need um, a same story a same story a, a same story of different same stories of different people. So we need to emphasize the collaborating. We need to collaborate the story of people. Okay, same story from some different people. Okay, so the next is seeks to understand the life experience of an individual or small group. It seems like I say that this study is focused on the experience, on the story of life of individual or small group. So the last what is that? The last types of qualitative research is phenomenological research. What are the key characteristics of phenomenological research? The first is Harris wrote in philosophy. Okay, the study is related to the philosophy studies. The first. So the second is it concerned with the essence of phenomenon. Means that this study is focused on the essential things in phenomenon. So the next is it interprets the meaning of participants' experience. So the study try to interpret. The study try to give a meaning uh, from the experience of participant in the study. And the next is include investigators first-hand experience. Okay, yeah. Beside interpreting the meaning of the participants' experience, the study is also include the investigators' first-hand experience. So the study is tell about the experience of the investigator first. So it continues with what is that? Yes, interpreting the meaning of experience from people or from a participant of the study. So the next is interview is the primary data collection tool. Okay, in this study we need what is that, interview. We need to interview people, we need to interview the participant to get our data, or in collecting data we need to interview our participant. Okay, that is the primary data collection tool in phenomenological research. So the next is typically interviews multiple subject. Okay, uh, actually this in this study, investigator try to interview a multiple subject or a multiple participant. uh, the mean of this word is the investigator try to investigate or try to interpret the meaning of experience, the meaning of some different experience of participant. Okay, so the investigator interview a different participant, a different subject of participant in the study. Okay, so the next is attempt to determine the meaning of statement. Okay, in the process of interviewing, the investigator, what is that, get the statement from the participant. So he tried to determine the meaning of the statement, in the meaning of the statement from the participant. Okay, so the next is provide a rich description of invariant structure. And the last characteristic of the study is it provides a rich description, because we get the data from the interview, so we try to interpret what's that, the meaning of statement we get from our interview. So what is that, in this study we will have a rich description. Okay, okay guys, I think that's all my explanation about what is that, the types of qualitative research method. I give you a key characteristic to make you easier in understanding about the types of qualitative research method. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much, and sorry for all my mistake. And as I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.